This podcast is sponsored by Release Winery. Every wine tells a story. Each growing season, it's our goal to create an artisan Napa Valley wine of exceptional quality. Join us as the story of this ultra-limited wine continues. Learn more at releasewinery.com.
I am Nick Bleecher, the winemaker here at Jericho Canyon.
I am Colleen Seps-Williams. I am the second generation at Storybook Mountain.
I am Rich Czapleski. I'm the owner of Canard Vineyard.
Larry Arnoff. I'm the owner of Jack Brooks Vineyard.
Actually, I'll go back to when I first looked at land up here. I do Bordeaux blends. And I kept coming up to the northern part of the valley because it's warmer during the day, cooler at night. And what that really gives you, I mean, I'll give you an example. Is last year there was one day of 105 degrees during the day. My wife and I slept outside. We woke up, it was 55 degrees in the morning, 5:30. It's a big change. But what that gives you is you have the heat during the day for the sugars, the sun and the heat, and you have the coolness at night for the acidity. So most of the wines from this area are really well balanced. And we have a volcanic loam soil, so it's ideal for growing the type of grapes that we grow up here. Mostly a lot of the reds, and I don't do whites, so I can't talk about that. So. Our Zin vines are 90 to 130-year-old vines. And, this is cab country, but actually Robert Mondavi, when I bought the property in '83, called me and asked what I was going to do with them. And I had a vineyard manager said we should pull them out economically. It was the correct thing to do. But he said it's history of the valley, so we never pulled them out.
Geographically, it's Jericho Canyon, so it's north part of Calistoga. It's a bit of kind of what makes Calistoga AVA unique in that Calistoga encompasses a whole bunch of different pieces and areas that I think a lot of other AVAs don't really include. Whereas normally if you're like Owl Mountain, you have mountain fruit, all mountain fruit, Spring Mountain, Diamond Mountain, Stag's Leap. Most of them are pretty, the vineyards are quite similar in ways, but Calistoga has a larger area. So you join up, maybe not geographically, but you go up into the hillsides where we have all hillside / mountain fruit, a whole bunch of different wineries and vineyards around that all go up the slopes, go up the Palisades, go up the mountain ranges, and it comes down to the bench and the valley floor. So we're up against the hills, up against Mount St. Helena, steep terraces, and then we also have, we personally don't, but Calistoga has a lot of vineyards that are at the base, like the Jack Brooks Vineyard, which is at the base of the grade.
So we are as far northwest in the valley as you can get. So we are just at the county line. And just Tom Eddy is just beyond us, but they're the last ones as well.
Well, a number of things. First of all, we dry farm, as does Canard. And up until this year, that was pretty beneficial and towards the end pretty challenging because it didn't rain. That makes a really big difference. Also, the berries that we have are really, really small, which gives the wine a lot of color and a lot of flavor. So I think those things really differentiate us. Plus, we're at the valley floor again, so it's different than mountain fruit. There's a lot of small family-owned wineries up here, a lot more so than down valley. And it's a lot of characters that are part of the AVA and the Wine Growers Association. So it really makes it interesting up here.
Certainly you have entire vintages that are panned, and you say, well, things are so different from here to, 2 miles from here, just over the mountain, how can you take an entire vintage and say none of it's good? And I agree with Rich that, because we're so small and we control everything, that is what made that wine so great, is that, yes, we did different things in 2011 with how we picked through our grapes, going through the vineyard twice before actually picking that day. But that really gave us the best grapes and phenomenal wine. So,
It's a small producer against major.
yes.
We don't have any 11s left, so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're sold out. Yeah.
So my parents came up here back in 1989. So it'd been a little while at that point. Time had progressed, obviously, and Napa Valley was already rather well known and kind of up and coming. When they were initially looking for their property, their realtors were Ren Harris and Gene Phillips, who were Paradigm and Scream Eagle, and they were going around looking for properties and found different ones, and they were showing them all Oakville, places a little further south in the valley, places that are arguably a little well known and stuff now, and they saw what was happening. But my parents weren't really looking for that. They were looking for something a little more off the beaten path, something tucked away, hidden further, and they found this property in the SF Chronicle for sale by owner. And when they purchased this property and told Ren and Jean, they were a little surprised. And it just was not really what people were thinking about, which was kind of strange considering, of course, Chateau Montelena, Calistoga Winery was kind of integral in the part of bringing Napa Valley to the forefront of California wines and in the world.
Been up here 33 years. We started making wine '84, which was Zin, off our old vines. And then in 2006, we decided we have Cab and Merlot, so we did 3 Bordeaux blends and Cab and all state, dry farms. So you're sort of getting the drift of, we're all small. We do about 2,000 cases, 2,200.
They're all small. We're minuscule. We produce we produce about 100 cases from fruit just grown on our little vineyard. Our first vintage was 2005. Vineyard was planted in 2000, and it's all 100% Cab.
15 years of selling fruit, 11 years since the winery's been built, 17 years with the label, and we currently make between 1,000 to 2,000 cases under the Jericho label. Yeah, everything's estate here on property, so we just make what we grow. We also custom crush, so we make wine for other people as well, all in Calistoga.
So this is our 41st year. So we are 100% estate as well, primarily known for Zinfandel. It's about 80% of what we do, and for the first 20 years, it was all we did. So we're a little bit of outliers here in the valley, which we like, So, and we make about 4,000 cases a year. Thank you. Coming out. Paying attention to our little
Always a pleasure.
section.